The woman behind a deadly rooming house fire 2 years ago has been sentenced to life in prison. 5 people were killed in the blaze that broke out in July 2011 in North Point, Douglas. Lulonda Flett received 5 life sentences but will be eligible for parole in 5 years. 2 years were knocked off her eligibility wait for time already served. Fire officials say the blaze started in the front of the house, blocking a key escape route. Police are reminding people to lock your doors and windows when outside, even if it's just to go into the backyard. Police have received several reports of break-ins over the last week while homeowners were outside in their yards and their doors and windows were either left open or unlocked.
Individuals that are involved in this type of criminal activity are very motivated, and if they see an opportunity, they oftentimes will go after it.
Police also say the break-ins can happen at any time and in any part of the city. Get your running shoes ready. It's time for the 35th annual Manitoba Marathon. Roughly 14,000 people will hit the pavement for the marathon that starts Sunday morning at the University of Manitoba. Participants will run the full 26 miles, the shorter 13-mile half marathon, or a 10K walk or run. This year, organizers are asking participants, volunteers, and spectators to keep an extra eye open for anything out of the ordinary in light of the Boston Marathon bombing.
We're hoping that with everyone's help, just to be a little more vigilant about things on the race course, empty bags, those kinds of things, let us know that we'll all be fine.
The marathon raises funds for people living with intellectual disabilities. It's looking like the current session of the Manitoba legislature could drag on well into the summer. The Progressive Conservatives have used delay tactics to stall passage of the budget on more than 40 bills in an effort to delay the sales tax increase on July 1st. Tory House Leader Kelvin Gertson says his party is prepared to sit as long as it takes to convince the government to change its mind or put the tax increase to a referendum. The NDP says it is also willing to sit right through the summer to ensure their budget and bills get passed. The RCMP has launched a formal investigation to determine whether Nigel Wright, Prime Minister Harper's former Chief of Staff, broke the law. Wright resigned as Harper's Chief of Staff last month after it was revealed he gave Senator Mike Duffy $90,000 to reimburse the upper chamber for improperly claimed living expenses. Harper insists he knew nothing about Wright's check to Duffy before it was reported by the media. Meanwhile, Senator Pamela Wallin says the Prime Minister's office gave her an ultimatum last month. Quit the Conservative caucus within 1 hour or be fired. She says the PMO told her she was bad for the Conservative brand and had to go. Wallin, who's paid back $38,000 in expenses, says she never meant to cheat taxpayers. She just didn't pay close enough attention to her expense paperwork. Workers at the Northwest Company are showing off their green thumbs. They were cleaning this garden in the Gilbert Park area yesterday. It's a garden that Northwest Company volunteers originally built back in June 2010 for the United Way Days of Caring. Since then, it's become an important part of the community. Volunteers have come out to clean up the garden every year since it was built. And we'll have more news coming up at 7 o'clock. Right now, we'll check in with Jeremy.